The thud of a fist colliding with bone echoed in the night. Richard Miller, a hard-working steelworker, lay sprawled on the pavement. Blood trickled from a gash above his eye, blurring his vision. Confused and disoriented, he struggled to comprehend the brutal assault he had just endured. It was a case of mistaken identity, a cruel twist of fate that would irrevocably alter the course of his life. Richard, known for his jovial spirit and kind heart, had been walking home from a local tavern that fateful evening. He had stopped to chat with Mrs. DeMarco, his elderly neighbor, watering her geraniums. Their conversation, filled with laughter and warmth, was abruptly shattered by the sound of approaching footsteps, and then, darkness. As Richard lay there, his attackers fled into the night, their laughter echoing through the desolate streets. The weight of their actions, heavy and suffocating, settled upon him like a shroud. He had become a victim, an innocent man ensnared in a web of violence not meant for him. Richard soon learned that a group of young men had been terrorizing the neighborhood, their faces concealed by hoodies, their motives shrouded in darkness. They were targeting anyone who dared to walk alone at night, their reign of terror leaving a trail of broken bodies and shattered lives in its wake. But Richard was not their intended target. They had confused him for someone else, a man who resembled him, a man whose life mirrored his own in an eerie twist of fate. The police arrived, sirens wailing, their flashing lights painting the night in hues of red and blue. Richard, his head pounding, struggled to provide a coherent account of the events that had transpired. The officers, their faces etched with a weary familiarity born from countless similar encounters, took his statement. They promised to investigate, to bring the perpetrators to justice, but their words rang hollow in the stillness of the night. Richard was transported to the hospital, his body battered and bruised, his spirit broken. The doctors stitched up his wounds, their faces etched with a professional detachment that belied the gravity of his situation. They mended his physical injuries, but the unseen scars, the ones etched deep within his psyche, would prove far more difficult to heal. Years turned into a blur of hospital visits, physical therapy sessions, and countless sleepless nights. The physical pain gradually subsided, but the emotional torment lingered, a constant reminder of the night his life had been irrevocably altered. Richard, once a vibrant and outgoing man, retreated into himself, haunted by flashbacks and plagued by an overwhelming sense of fear. The once familiar streets of his neighborhood became a source of anxiety, each shadow a potential assailant, every corner a reminder of his vulnerability. He avoided crowds, flinched at sudden movements, and found solace only in the confines of his home, his sanctuary from a world that had become a source of constant threat. Richard's injuries prevented him from returning to his job at the steel mill, the physical demands proving too great for his battered body. He was forced to accept a disability pension, a constant reminder of his limitations and the life he had lost. The financial strain added to his burdens, pushing him further into a spiral of despair.